But I do have good news for you, like I did yesterday. I think yesterday I called it great, so let's call it great again. Mike Bacsik's back with us on the DLLS Rangers podcast. Oh, yeah, we've all got dreams, right? We go to sleep every night and we dream and they wake up and go, man, that was crazy. And so some of the dreams we have during the day, I think we have to go, oh, man, that was crazy, as we welcome you into the DLLS Sports Studios. DLLS Rangers podcast, John Radigan, Mike Bacsik in again today. We're thrilled to have Mike, who talks baseball for a living now. He played baseball for a living for a long time. And for us, it's kind of cool because TC is over here today. And the three of us were no doubt at the ticket at the same time. Right, TC? Yeah. TC was there when you and I were there. We did shows together. 2008
through 2010.
Okay. Fantastic. Yeah. What years were you at the ticket, TC?
2008 to 2018.
8 to 18. Wow. Fantastic. So
I got my DLS
appreciate
shirt
that.
on, huh?
Appreciate that. Mike had another one. He was telling us after the show yesterday he wore it or wears it, occasionally. This one probably too now on the road to work out. So he's representing, right? He's in these hotel workout rooms.
You can find me in a hotel workout room, usually on a Peloton, and maybe wearing a DLLS t-shirt.
It's amazing how many hotel workout rooms I have seen and you too, I'm sure. In my life, it's unbelievable. But I always like the one. Did you go to? I don't even. Are you guys still at the the Westin St. Francis in San Francisco? I think they changed.
Yeah, we've changed.
Yeah, that's right.
I would like to tell you, San Francisco's changed quite a bit.
I know. I heard. I did. I was at the new one time. Isn't it kind of like right across the street from the Giants Stadium? Yeah, I was at that one time. I forgot about that. Anyway, I loved the one at the Westin St. Francis or whatever it was. So. Let's get into this free agency talk. It's getting hot and heavy, and the Rangers still send out clips every day. And in the clips, there was all kinds of free agent talk. We're going to talk about that in just a minute because there are some pretty cool names brought up that I haven't heard anybody talk about on our chat or anywhere. So they're kind of fun. And I saw some already in the chat, and Mike, I'm going to get right to my dream. I've been teasing you. I haven't even told Mike this. I've been teasing you with it. For 2 days now, and there it is. Jake has it. One of the guys in Jake's list there, Mike, is my dream, and that's the 35-year-old catcher, JT Realmuto.
Okay, I think that's very doable, to be honest.
I know. I think it's doable. I think they think. He's about a 6'10", whoever kind of makes those projections. Baseball America, I think, is the one I saw. They think he's about a $16 million guy, and that's my point. I think this is a dream that's doable. But here's why, Mike. We think they're going to, move on from Jonah Heim. They only have one more year of Kyle Higashioka, and they can't. Maybe nobody can. They can't develop catchers.
Yeah, and if they do. I'm sorry, is it Michael? It's Michael something from Stanford.
Moore.
Michael Moore, the first round pick from Stanford. He had an injured year this year, so he did not get to develop this year much.
Right.
The hope is that he could play 2026 and 2027 in the minor leagues, and then in 2028, you'd hope your first round pick out of college at that point could help you at the catching situation. So to your point, if you got a Realmuto who's older, but you got him on a 3-year deal, that might put you at the right time frame for what you hope your first-round pick catcher could develop into a major league guy.
Exactly right. And Realmuto caught 135 games last year. And in like 5 of the last 6, he's north of 130.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, he's 35.
Yeah.
But Pudge proved you can go way beyond 35. And I said on the show the other day, our boy Salvi Perez in Kansas City, with his extension, he's going to be eligible for Social Security the first year he's done playing.
Now, they're a little bit different, Perez and Real Muto, but what the Royals have done is they've taken pressure off of the body by DHing quite a bit. If you got Real Muto here, and I do love your dream, and I do think this is a realistic dream, is I would say, can you DH him 30 games, catch him, let's say, 90 games, and you would give him, at his age, you would give him approximately 40 games off. There'll be things he's dealing with where you might need to give him 3-4 days in a row off. You hope not injured list stints, but I would love that if you are trying to compete for a playoff spot. And we'll see in this offseason if the Rangers are really wanting to push to try to catch Seattle, to try to be better than the Houston Astros in your division, to try to maybe be a wild card team. A guy like Real Muto, he can help out. And we have to, I don't know who the pitching coach and coaches are, is Real Muto has faced a lot of big league hitters. He has a lot of scouting reports inside that brain that can help out your pitching staff. Yeah,
no doubt. And you know, the really good ones, and he's proven that he's that, I think they amazingly file it away, right? They just file away so much data. And then as soon as they see a guy, he's curveball, fastball, or whatever. Yeah. So anyway, that's my dream on that would be to get an established catcher because they're so hard to come by.
Yes.
Beyond him in the free agent class, I mean, there's Caratini from Houston. And I mean, there's just nobody that really moves the needle much.
And most guys who end up being great hitters in the minor leagues that are catchers, they start thinking about, can we move them to first base? Can we move them to right field?
Right.
Because we want that ability to hit more than behind the plate. It's just such a defensive position. I love it. I would really like that. I think other options at catcher, and I have no clue what it would cost. The Orioles just committed a lot of money to a really young catcher. So Adley Rutschman, I mean, he dropped off the face of the earth in the last year and a half of baseball. I don't know what happened to him, why it's happened to him. I'm not saying the Rangers should take him on or pay that price, but after Real Muto, yes, the free agent market is very thin on catchers. So then you would have to be looking at trading for a guy.
Right, and he comes up in the chat a lot. And Jeff, too, we think it's just like he's going to cost so much equity from your farm system, right?
Yeah.
And right now the Rangers farm system is fairly depleted anyway.
Yes.
So I just don't know that they have the equity in the farm system to answer. I mean, of course, unless they want to go up, give up Walcott, which they don't.
No, not for Adley Rutschman.
No.
I think I don't know this. I think they would give up Walcott, but it would have to be for a super premium guy kind of in their prime that has at least 3 or more years of control. And Adley Rutschman 2 years ago, they'd give up Walcott.
Yeah.
But Adley Rutschman now, I have to take in recent history and go, gosh, he might not be an everyday player the way he's been lately.
Right. Yeah. What do you think, T.O. asks, what do you think of Young for Adley? Well, I don't think that's enough for the
They
Orioles.
would want nothing to do with that anyways because they have Holiday and Gunnar Henderson up the middle, and they've had to move. It's Westberg and somebody else at third base. Like the Orioles, it's the weird. We talked about it yesterday. They're honestly loaded, especially in the infield. So, Josh Young to Baltimore wouldn't really make sense for their organization.
No, yeah. So good question. So others that continue to come up. This one surprises me, and so many different of the pundits have said Pete Alonso. We talked yesterday about the fact that, there is a synergy, this real connection between Jake Berger and Skip Schumacher.
Yeah.
And so I kind of poo-poo, but Alonso's name keeps coming up over and over again. Do you hear that? What do you think about that?
I hear it from the outside.
Right.
I don't really feel like I hear it from the Rangers organization. And I would say that Jake Berger is going to be a guy that competes at first base on your team. I think he'll be on the team. It's just a matter of how much do you want to play him. It'll be interesting, the leashes, that guys that had below average years in 25, how long they let them stay in the lineup if they get off to a similar start that they did a year ago. I would say with Pete Alonso, I think a lot of people that are doing the projections on years and money are way over projecting years and money. Because last year, I remember reading this as about a month ago, because I'm interested in Pete Alonso. I'd love to have him. I think the other thing too is the connection this way. He's University of Florida. I do think this team needs some veteran leadership. I know that sounds a little bit weird from their position players, because you do have Seager and Simeon who have been around for a long time, but I'm not sure if they're the leaders that you kind of need. They're veteran players, all-star players, have won a championship together. I think Pete Alonso could help there, and with him and Wyatt Langford being Florida guys, also Jacob deGrom could say how much he likes it here, being a teammate of his in New York. I think there could be a good recruitment for Pete Alonso. At the same time, I don't think he gets more than 3 years.
Right.
He was a free agent last year. And he signed a 1-year deal back with the Mets, not because he desperately wanted to be a Met. It was because he couldn't get a deal last year after a great 2024. He didn't have a bad 2024. So he repeats the year again. Nobody was offering more than 3 years, and like at about, I want to say 25 mil a year or so. He was very disappointed in that. So if it's 3 years and 75 million, I'm very interested. But the projections say he's going to get 6 years and all this, but I'm trying to figure out. So not one team in baseball wanted to give Pete Alonso a big deal last year. Not one. And now he's a year older. He just repeated the same season. He's a below average defensive first baseman.
He is.
He's kind of trending towards DH.
Yeah.
Where's that money coming from? What team last year said, well, we don't have the money for him, or we don't like him enough, and now they like him enough and are going to create 3 more years on a contract and create more money on that contract?
Yeah, and we're 1 year closer now, and I wonder if last free agent season this factored in, but we're 1 year closer to the collective bargaining agreement expiring, and I think teams are beginning to prepare themselves financially. I did read something today about, teams aren't going to offer 6 and 7 year deals this offseason. Doesn't mean that it'll never happen again. And it actually doesn't with the Dodgers out there. It doesn't mean it won't happen this year. But they're going to be less frequent right now, just because the owners are hoping there is a significant change in the collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah, they want a salary cap back.
Right.
And I would say, I don't know the percentage. This would be kind of fun to look up. What the percentage is of owners that owned the team or a team in 1994. Yeah. Because most of the owners have no clue about 1994. And I think they're about to repeat that process in a way. I don't think the players are going to strike and lock out a playoff season. I don't think they're going to do that. But I don't think these owners, all 30 of them, understand 1994 and understand. I have a father who played, in the 70s and up to 1980. I don't think that they understand the player's position on this, what we are told. And I know it's years later, but do you understand how much you'd be disrespecting Mike Bacsik, your father, how much you would be disrespecting all of the players like Curt Flood, who came before you, all of the players that did all of this for you? If you agree to a salary cap, you disrespect almost every player who's ever played this sport at a major league level. And I don't think owners understand what current players are told, and they think, well, we can beat them because the NFL owners, let's just face it, the players just do whatever the owners want in that league. Like,
it's awful.
MLB owners would just love, and I mean love, if the players would do exactly what the NFL players would do and just say, whatever you give us, we'll take.
Yeah.
That just doesn't happen in Major League Baseball. No. NBA, they fight back a little more, but I think MLB owners would love the NBA CBA. I don't know if they can even get to that. So it's just going to be interesting, because the Rangers took advantage of it in 22 as we were headed towards the lockout.
Yes, they did.
The Rangers said, look, we haven't been good in 5 years or 6 years. I can't remember the exact number, but they said, here's the deal. Teams aren't going to spend right now because of the looming lockout and everything. Well, we don't have a very good team. We don't have really anybody we love or like on this team. Every position's available. Let's just buy some players right before this lockout as teams don't want to spend, and they get John Gray, they get Marcus Semien, they get Corey Seager, they get a couple other guys, and they took advantage of teams like now going, I don't know how much I want to spend if I want a salary cap, and then that guy really hurts my cap in the future.
Yeah, it's really going to be fascinating next offseason, although this offseason is pretty fascinating too. And there's a few names in the chat that we are going to address here. A few other things we want to talk about regarding free agency as we continue with the DLLS Rangers podcast. Oh, but first, a chance for you to live your big league dream. Have you ever been a part of one of these fantasy camps, like as a player?
Yeah, 13 years. They sent me to spring training. It was awesome. They even let me try out for the team, and I made it sometimes.
Had your name on your glove and everything.
I haven't, but they sound awesome.
They
These
really
fantasy
do.
Camps and winter ball kind of, it sounds awesome.
Yeah, and the Rangers are resurrecting their fantasy camp this year. We had Fergie Jenkins on a week or so ago to talk about it, and Fergie will be there, as will Mark McLemore, Steve Buechele, Darren Oliver. I mean, I don't even remember the whole list of guys, but a bunch of former Rangers players will be out there in Surprise, Arizona. You can be too, and you can take the field with those guys. It's a fantastic opportunity for you to go out there and to, as I say, live that big league dream, you know, and to actually stand on the field there in Surprise, Arizona. It's so fantastic. It's an unforgettable opportunity. And the best part, you get hands-on guidance and encouragement from some of these guys. You get your own Rangers jersey, and Pudge is going to be there too. Lots more announcements on the way yet, so maybe Mike will be there. Who knows? We'll see.
I haven't been invited yet, but if I was there, I would want to learn from Ruben Sierra. I'm pretty sure Ruben Sierra is going to be there.
And Ruben too.
That big leg lift to hit that ball.
Fantastic. All right, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You don't want to miss it. Spots are limited, so secure yours today. Rangers.com/fantasy camp. And when you go, take your Shady Rays. You need them in spring training. It's so annoying. And, I know Mike and Dave have talked about it. I remember going back to Tom Grieve. But, when guys have their sunglasses up on their hat, and then they lose a ball in the sun, it's so frustrating. You don't want to be that guy. You want to be this guy wearing your Shady Rays at your own spring training. Great sunglasses. Great partner of ours. They're an OG partner. ShadyRays.com. You get 35% off if you use the code DLLS35 at Shady Rays. Okay, so more free agent stuff here. The one name that's super intriguing and timely, Jeff. Sorry.
No problem.
Yeah, I know who usually sits next to me. The one that's super intriguing and timely because he will be posted today is this Muntaka Murakami. Are you familiar with him at all?
Here's where I'm familiar with one of the Japanese players that's going to get posted. Is this the one who's the stud third baseman who has a lot of power?
Yes, who's like that Babe Ruth, but then again, so is Sadahara. Oh, and I know there have been others, but he's young. This guy's only 25, too.
I would love for the Rangers to look into this. I know that somebody put up there possibly trading Josh Young. I think the Rangers could possibly look into that. I think that, I don't know if you'd want to, but if you were to get a stud third baseman somehow, some way, I think you could look at possibly moving Josh Young to first base. If that was the case, I think that they probably would look to move him to another team at that point. Yeah. But I'm very interested in that because let's face it, the last 2 years, you've got very limited offensive production from third base.
Yep, no doubt. So he's an interesting one. He'll be posted today. Every team will have 45 days, I think it is, to to enter into the sweepstakes.
I mean, isn't he just a Dodger?
That's what I like. Because it's what I guess is that Japan West. I mean, it is. Yeah. It's just all the Japanese players come here. They gravitate there because there are so many other Japanese players there. It's like a culture.
And I know he's from Keller, and I don't know Max Muncy's age, but he's been around for a while. He's not a guy, I don't think, on a long-term contract. So about half of the games you have a starting pitcher from Japan pitching for the Dodgers. Then you'd have an everyday player there. And from what I understand, I don't know the finances too well, but the Dodgers are raking it in so much from the country of Japan.
Oh my gosh.
Like, yeah, you look at Yamamoto's contract and you look at Ohtani's contract and possibly this third baseman's contract if they sign him to a huge deal. Like, it doesn't matter. We're making so much money. We're making 9 figures at least, if not 10 figures, to be honest, off of just Japan on a yearly basis.
Right. There was talk that at the end of this season, or maybe just in the early parts of the offseason so far, that the Dodgers made back their $700 million that they put out for Shohei Ohtani already in 1 year. So unbelievable. I don't know if we can quantify that or if we can check on that, but that's amazing.
I'm going to say, I wonder if every team is so, that sounds weird, done with Japanese players, because like we lose every time. How much energy and effort do we want to put into this, knowing that they almost will always go to the Dodgers as long as the Dodgers want them? Yeah,
that's true. And yet we also know that the Rangers have always had a really good presence in Japan, and I think still do. And I know Josh Boyd, we know Josh, he goes over there all the time. Now, before the posting of Sasaki last year, remember at the end of last season in September, Chris Young went over there for a quick trip. So they did. Yeah. They put in that huge amount of effort to try and get Sasaki. We haven't heard about anything quite that substantial for this young man.
I can remember that moment because if everybody remembers Kamar Rocker in 2024 making his debut in Seattle, Chris Young was there for that moment. And then after that game was over, I believe the next day he then flew to Japan. Is obviously Seattle's closer. And then from that Rocker game, flew over to Japan to see Sasaki, to meet with his people, to hope that he would possibly want to be a Ranger. And I just don't think there was really any competition. He was going to be a Dodger.
Yeah, it was just pretty much a foregone conclusion. All right, some of the Rangers' own free agents. Now, obviously, if they were going to sign them or really anxious to, they already could have, right? Because you can sign your own free agents during the World Series. It's other people's that you have to wait until after. Sean Armstrong had expressed an interest in, like, let's get this done, right? And it didn't happen. But I'm sure you would. I'd love to see Sean Armstrong
I'd
back.
love to see him back. He fills such a valuable role for you because he's the guy that came up with Tampa, so he knows how to be an opener if on certain days you want to have an opener. He can close games. I love Sean Armstrong. I don't want him to be the closer, but you can use him in almost any inning you want to in the bullpen. What a valuable piece to have. Now, I do think the Rangers need to look strongly into getting a real closer, not just have Skip Schumacher pick one every week and hope it works out for more than a week. So I look at it and I go, I'd love to have Sean Armstrong back. Last year, I believe the Rangers had $14 million in their bullpen. Total.
Wow.
For 8 guys.
Wow.
$14 million. So the budget is smaller this year for the team. But you probably need to make that budget bigger for the bullpen.
Yes, for sure. If you're going to get a closer, for sure. And again, that's why I don't think they'll get Armstrong because projections say he's going to get $5 million, and he hasn't had that chance to make big money,
right?
Yet. And he's getting long in the tooth, so
for sure.
He's going to take if he can get a 2-year, good for him. If he can, a 3-year deal, he's going to go take that, and I don't blame him. All right, what about Merrill Kelly?
So I'd like to have him back.
Yeah.
I think he fits the rotation very well. And what I mean by this is Jack Leiter throws close to 100. Jacob deGrom throws close to 100. Evaldi throws in the mid-90s with a really great split finger. Mm-hmm. And then you have Merrill Kelly. Yes, he's right-handed, the same as the other guys. Yeah. But he throws the ball in the low 90s. He throws an unbelievable changeup. When we think of deGrom, yes, he does have a good changeup, but we don't think fastball changeup. Neither with Leiter. Right. Leiter has that hard changeup that he throws in the low 90s. I think he fits the rotation very well. When you want variance in your rotation, he's a guy who's going to eat a lot of innings for you. That being said, I don't think he's back. I just don't think with what the Rangers' budget probably is. spending what they have in Eovaldi, in DeGrom, what they think of Leiter on pretty much league minimum. Rocker, I think they hope makes the team out of spring. That's another league minimum guy. And then you have like a Jacob Latz close to league minimum. I think they are looking more like that. And then I don't think Patrick Corbin.
Right. He was my next one, or Tyler Malley, either one.
But, well, it matters the price.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get another guy, but I think Merrill Kelly's going to cost $10+ million per year.
Okay.
And I don't think they want to give, let's say, a $10+ million contract to another starter. I could be wrong. You just have to start looking at budget stuff. And right now, the Rangers, I think, are looking at the offense a little bit more than the pitching.
As they probably should, based on the results of the last 2 years. All right, I'm not sure who Will Laws, and this is one day. It's too bad Jeff's not here. He knows all the writers. I know most of the broadcasters, but Will Laws and Nick Selby, I think they work for Sports Illustrated. Here's their list, Mike, which I think is really interesting about their prediction is who will this player end up with. Prediction, only one team listed, Texas Rangers. Eugenio Suarez, third baseman from the Seattle Mariners.
Okay.
34 years old. He had 49 bombs last year. There's quite a few warning signs about his longevity, of course. And this one does not predict or project what he might make. But, and he's not one, whereas Josh Naylor went to Seattle and said, man, I'm okay with this ballpark, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he's one that really felt great about the offensive nature or lack of it in Seattle.
I'm with you. And Arizona is one of the best places to hit in baseball, where he put up a lot of great numbers before getting traded. That doesn't make too much sense to me, to be honest.
There's not a spot at third base right now. But again, based on their prediction, and I don't know if they know anything, based on their prediction, that would probably lead to the idea of Josh Young either being traded or non-tender.
Yeah, he'll be an interesting guy on Suarez on what he would make.
Yeah, I know.
It has to be a shorter-term contract because of age.
Yeah, because he's 34.
And then you take in what he did for Arizona. Well, that was a little bit out of the ordinary for him. That was kind of career year-ish. He went to Seattle in a playoff race in your division and struggled. So I don't know. I would, if the Rangers got him, I'd be excited, but I'd wonder what guy are we getting?
Yeah, no, and it's interesting because, like I say, these three names that these two fellas I have mentioned, I haven't heard in connection with the Rangers at all, and their prediction is definitive. Another one for the Texas Rangers, definitive, Brad Keller from the Royals. Right-handed pitcher.
Okay. I mean, solid guy. That would be a guy.
That's what I was thinking.
That's
be your guy.
That fits kind of maybe in that $7 to $8 million a year range. That's not a long-term deal.
Yeah, that's not Merrill Kelly, right? But can be,
And you mentioned Tyler Malley. Boy, was Malley great when he pitched. But, I don't have it in front of me. Did he make 20 starts in his 2 years here?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Like, I don't know if he did. And so now, like, how much do I want to give if I have to look realistically at this, if I'm a front office person and go realistically, I'm looking at 15 starts from Tyler Malley in 2026. How much money do I want to give per start if I think I'm going to get 15 starts out of him, and then hope that he's healthy if I'm making a run in September?
Yes, and I agree with you. I mean, I don't know if you can roll that dice, again, because it's kind of like rolling the die on Adolis. Well, it's been 2 years. We're rolling the die on Heim. Well, it's been 2 years. How many times can we roll that same die? And incidentally, these guys are saying, and it's true. I mean, Keller last year found his niche in the bullpen for the Royals, so he may be a bullpen piece too, which is fine. The Rangers always need that because as they continue, if they get this guy, they won't need another starter anyway because this guy will fill that void, Jeff again. Mike.
That's okay.
Justin Verlander. They've got the prediction. I'd love to see JV here. Now, he was 4-11 last year, but he felt like he found it at the end of the year. Remember, he finished pretty strong for the Giants.
Okay. No, I don't remember because I wasn't paying attention to the Giants in September. I want to see here the people that are texting in. Are you okay if the Rangers got Justin Verlander? Because I feel like he got booed quite a bit, and I get it. Like, he's, he's a for sure Hall of Famer. It'll be interesting if he goes in as an Astro or a Tiger. That'll be a decision for him.
It will, and it seems that the Astros name has come up with a landing spot for him too. And incidentally, one of the reasons I think is he's 43, and Tony Vitello, the guy in San Francisco, he's like best buddies with Max Scherzer. Okay. So the thought is Scherzer, as much as he loved it in Toronto, he's leaving to go be with his buddy and continue pitching in San Francisco. Okay. So that means they don't have room for another 40-something, right?
Yeah, and from what I hear, Max and Verlander, even though they played together in Detroit, they were there with the Mets. They're not like super tight.
They're not. No, they're not.
So
they had some problems in Detroit there for a while.
Yeah. So. Okay, if Verlander came here, I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think he really has anything left.
Yeah, and that's
for sure Hall of Famer, but I would be worried about
a 43-year-old. Yeah. That's very, very rare. Guys can pitch, especially because he's still, a power pitcher.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like he's Jamie Moyer, who's out there throwing the knuckleball.
Now, the other thing that you have to think about in this rotation, I won't call you Jeff, but the one thing that you have to worry about a little bit is Eovaldi's a guy who can't make 30 starts a year. His body just won't allow him to.
We have to resign ourselves
so
to that.
We know that we're going to have to fill in at least 5 starts, but more realistically in our head, we're going to have to fill in 10 starts for Eovaldi with somebody else.
Yeah.
DeGrom, unbelievably healthy last year. That was unexpected, though.
Right.
So now am I looking at it going, hey, realistically, DeGrom 25 starts next year? That would be awesome. I'd love 25 starts from him, but that's 7 starts that he doesn't make. Rocker has not been healthy his whole career.
Nope.
Ever since Vanderbilt, he has not been healthy. So if he's a guy you're counting on, you're probably counting on him at most making 20 starts next year. That's another 12 starts I need. Leiter has been very healthy, so I can kind of look at him and more pencil him in. He, I believe, can make his 30 starts. He just got a blister last year, not like a real injury that can happen early on in the year. So I look at a guy like a Justin Verlander. If you name me a guy like Tyler Mahle, the thing that worries me about, do I want to add another guy that's kind of injury prone or needs a lot of time off during a season?
Yeah, no, those are really good thoughts, and they're definitely things the Rangers absolutely have to consider as they walk down this path for real. So it's a lot more coming up. Let's talk about some of the coaching news. We've seen it in the chat, and we've seen it elsewhere. So we'll do that and more next. It's the DLLS Rangers podcast. But it's time for you to consider joining our supporters club if you haven't already. It's a fun place to be. It's the true sicko level stuff that we provide in the supporters club. There's 2 levels, $15 and $5, where you can join the supporters club and get the videos and things that we do, get the emojis that you see on the screen, and just kind of be a part of us and hang out with us in a different sort of a way. We all appreciate the fact that you're here almost every day chatting with us when we do these shows, but this is just a different way for all of us to hang out together. Another way to do that is through our newsletter, and I'm leaving myself a little more time to talk about the newsletter today because Ali Jawad nailed it today. If you get the newsletter, go look at it. It's all about what happened with Marshawn Nealon yesterday, and he showed a couple of different clips. The Jeff Kavanaugh clip of his initial statement about what happened, and Jeff's dealt with some depression and things like that. Anybody who watches the show knows that. It's phenomenal. It's tear-jerking. It's heart-rending. It's awesome. Then Jesse talks about things. So anyway, it's fantastic. Go get the newsletter, alldlls.com. Scroll all the way down, and then you'll just put in your email, and you'll start getting the newsletter for free to your inbox. One thing I learned through all of this, Mike, as a quick aside, and before we get back to baseball yesterday, is that there is a hotline number for people who are feeling like Marshawn did, which is 988. So it's super easy to call. It's like 911 or whatever, but 988 is like a suicide prevention hotline that you can access, or for yourself, certainly, although I think that's probably harder to do for people who are feeling like that. But maybe if you are with somebody who you fear is headed down that path, because, man, Just tragic, terrible news. 988 is that number to call. And by the way, Jeff Kavanaugh told me, I believe they used to work together on the radio at the Fan. I think Kavanaugh's exact words were, and tell Bacsik, suck it. So, yeah.
Is that better or worse than shut up? Because he would tell me to shut up a lot.
Oh, maybe he did say shut up.
Okay.
Maybe, because that, I'm not remembering that was a bit. Okay, maybe he said shut up.
Okay.
Suck it, shut up. It kind of sounded like. Anyway, I'm hard of hearing. All right, let's talk about the coaching stuff. Colby Suggs has apparently interviewed. He's the Twins bullpen coach.
Okay.
And he's apparently, and again, the Rangers are great about this. This didn't leak through the Rangers.
Yeah.
It leaked through the Twins. I know you kind of go, they are great about it, because we don't get much in the way of sort of rumors from the Rangers side. Yeah. But apparently from the Twins side, Colby Suggs, who's been their bullpen coach, has interviewed here. Don't know exactly for what, right? Would he be the bullpen coach? Would they move Teagues up? Would they move Bush up? Not sure about any of it.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about Colby? I figured when I mentioned the name Colby Suggs, you'd go, "Oh yeah, I played with him," but I don't know.
I don't know anything about him.
All right. Okay. So that's that. And somebody in the chat has said MLB trade rumors, or somebody is saying that Alex Cintron is in the process of finalizing a deal to become the hitting coach here. So that would be nice. And I think, again, MLB rumors, according to All About Sports Zone. So, and there's Colby Suggs in that one too. So anyway, obviously they're getting close to naming this coaching staff.
Yes, and they need to. We talked about it yesterday with free agency. Now, I'll throw out a dream scenario for me. You threw out the dream. Now, yours is way more in reality.
Okay.
Mine, Citron, what organization he come from?
Astros.
What's his relationship with Alex Bregman?
Oh, I bet it's pretty good.
I know he'd cost a whole bunch of money. He's opting out of, I believe, like up to $40 million or close to with the Red Sox, because he wants a longer-term deal.
Right.
As much as you can hate him, and I get it, Ranger fans, you can boo him and everything like that. I totally get it. He would be the leadership guy that the Rangers desperately need from a player situation. I think that Skip and his staff are going to have great leadership from their area. I think obviously we know Seager. Seager does his thing. He gets ready to play in his own way, and he's awesome at it. But he does it off to the side. So I look at it and go, my dream scenario, which I will say, honestly, I don't think is realistic, would to have Alex Bregman be your third baseman long-term here.
That'd be fantastic.
And then to be the leader of your organization for long-term.
Because that's the thing, and we've seen him. I mean, back in the day, we were playing Houston 19 times a year and all that. Bregman's kind of always been a part of that group in Houston that, they were you could just tell. First of all, you could just tell they were having fun. It's pretty easy to have fun when you're winning every year. Yeah. But by the same token, he just seemed to be a vocal and I think a fun leader.
Yeah, but he knows how to do it. The other thing, too, is he learned at an early age. I can't remember if it was at LSU or early in the minor leagues. He said, I'm going to learn how to speak fluent Spanish.
Wow.
So he is, so when you have Latin guys on your team, the communication is perfect between Bregman and Latin guys on your team, because he felt like and was smart enough to realize, if I want to be not only the complete player on the field that I'm going to try to be, but the complete leader that I want to be of a team as a player, I want to communicate with the Latin players on the team too.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Ethan's onto something there. Bregman would be like Beltre. 1 year in Boston and then Texas for the rest of his career. Go into the Hall of Fame as a Texas Ranger, maybe. But and I don't know if, like to your point, I don't know if any of it's going to happen. I do like, or maybe I'm a little surprised by, both with JV and Bregman so far, we're not seeing Astros sports hate. Like that's not enough to, because again, in this day and age, you realize, dang, Bregman is a really good player.
Yeah, he won a game last year against the Rangers in Boston, And I remember doing the game there and just going, oh, we shouldn't be pitching to him. We shouldn't be pitching
Right.
to him. And I knew that they had a very good lineup, but not to him. He knows exactly what Maddox has probably put together as the game plan in this situation. He knows exactly what this pitcher is going to try to do. And I can't remember the pitcher on the mound at the time. And I'm like, don't do it. Don't pitch to him. And he won the game. And I was like, well, he knew exactly what you were going to do. He's one of the smartest players in the game of baseball, one of the best leaders in all of baseball from a player standpoint. So to me, I think realistically, financially, it doesn't make sense where the Rangers are at. But if you wanted to have one of, if not, I'll put him there, the best leader maybe in all of baseball as a position player, it would be Alex Bregman.
Okay, there you go. That's a good thought. It's enough. We're dreaming. I mean, what the heck? If we're dreaming, let's keep dreaming. This is probably a dream come true for three of the Rangers prospects who continue to really shine as young pitchers. And I'm sure, I'm sure you've seen all three of these. I know you've seen Jose Corniel and Winston Santos and Emiliano Teodo.
Yeah.
All three after the Fall League here. On Sunday, they play the Fall Stars game. All three are in the Fall Stars.
In
game.
Arizona, right?
Yeah.
The Arizona Fall League. Yeah. Played in that in 2000.
You did?
Yeah, there was this young guy from St. Louis everybody thought could be a pretty good player in that league. His name was Albert Pujols.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Well, that's who I was going to guess.
That's where I first figured out who he was, and he was an up-and-comer. And like, yeah, man, the Cardinals really think he could be a help for them in 2001. And he helped out that organization quite a bit. That's a very competitive league if you don't know too much about the Arizona Fall League. If you're in the Arizona Fall League, almost everybody there, the organization that they're with, believes that that player or those players can help their team win the upcoming season.
Right.
They're not a long way away. They are literally that not only all-star game, but that whole league is, here are on each team, 25 to 30 guys. We believe all of these guys could be in the major leagues next year. So for Teodo, he was a guy that they thought could help them last year. He just struggled and then injury. And so hopefully he can get back on track.
And he's been in the bullpen in the Fall League, right? Yeah. So, he in Frisco 2 years ago, he was a starter. He almost, I don't want to say almost, but I mean, he made noise about making the team as a relief pitcher last spring. And then pretty much spent the part of the season this year where he wasn't injured as a relief pitcher.
Do you know what his career is looking like? And I do really like this guy next year as a 7th, 8th inning guy for the Rangers coming back. Cole Winn.
Yeah.
Cole Winn, huge, big-time prospect out of high school, was killing it in Double-A as a starting pitcher, and then as a starting pitcher, it just fizzled out. And now as a relief pitcher, Cole Winn is a great relief pitcher for the Texas Rangers, who you have control of for the next 5 years. Teodo might be following that path where you thought he could start, not sure, but maybe with his velocity around 100 miles an hour, and you get one other primary pitch, one other pitch that you love off of that fastball, that he could be a really nice one-inning reliever for you in the future.
Yeah, I like that. I think, and I like Cole Winn. I mean, I like Cole Winn in that role, and to have two of those guys, there's nothing wrong with that. Your 8th, 9th inning lockdown guys. T.O., you are a legend. You're the best. T.O. is gifting a bunch of our normal chat people awesome. their supporters club membership. So he comes in every once in a while and just pays to have some others get that little gold medallion by your name. That means you're in the supporters club. So thank you, T.O. Look at all those he's gifted. 5 more people get their supporters club memberships today because of T.O. So we thank you for that. We got to get to this Ron Washington topic. Now, it sort of comes from, I know, and I mentioned it on the show, that through an emissary, Ron Washington reached out through, kind of mutual friend type thing.
Okay.
He reached out to the Rangers. So this is totally just that. It's not that the Rangers necessarily have expressed interest in this, but Wash reached out and said, please let everybody there know from CY on down that I would be interested in any job. Doesn't have to be manager on the coaching staff. needless to say, everybody would love that. Everybody would love to see him, coming in to be a great infield instructor for so many of these different guys. How much could he help Josh Young, right? Or any of the young guys, Jake Berger, right? But also a third base coach, since that's open now.
I mean, obviously, I'd love that. He was a teammate of my dad in the 70s with the Twins. It would be awesome. I don't even know how many years. He's been a third base coach for over 30 years of his career.
Yep.
Obviously, quite a bit of it with the Athletics. He did it with
Braves.
the Braves.
Yeah, won a ring.
Yeah, so I would look at it. The thing that I don't know, this is just I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he could bring a lot of value to a team. I just always wonder at age and everything, if you don't watch the third base coach, and I get you're not watching the third base coach, you're watching the guy run to third or rounding third. The third base coach is moving a lot up and down the line. He's not just standing there in the coach's
sedentary.
box.
Yeah.
The first base coach does stand in the coach's box the whole time. And Ragsdale's probably the most in shape coach in all of sports. But I just wonder with Wash, if let's say he came back as a third base coach, I would love it. That is a physical position. The third base coach is a physical position that you're working pretty hard there.
Yeah, and of course, Wash is coming off the heart scare, which caused him to leave the Angels organization last year, and then unfortunately they just didn't sign him back up to a new contract. So anyway, it's fun to think about. Yeah. I don't think that I can't really say that the Rangers were they just took the information and moved with it. So we'll see what happens there. We'll know soon because the coaching staff is getting closer and closer, there's no doubt, to being announced.
Can I just throw this out real quick? I mean, he could take Skip's spot as kind of a special assistant. You have Bochy there in San Francisco helping out a manager. I mean, maybe Ron could be somebody that Skip could bounce information off of.
Sure, because, Wash was just so good with the players, right? Yeah. So not to say Skip isn't or won't be, but Wash could lend some different sort of perspectives along those lines, too. All right, that's our cleanup segment. Some interesting topics to talk about next. We're going to wrap things up on the DLLS Rangers podcast. Yeah, and Mike Bacsik as the pitching coach. I like that. I like that a lot.
My dad, not me.
Yeah, the other Mike Bacsik. It's time for you to consider becoming a diehard if you haven't already, and many of you already have. We appreciate you. We've got all kinds of content there. Clarence Hill was all over, as was Ollie, all over the big and tragic story from the Star yesterday. And then, of course, we've got Sam Nestler, who's writing for our Dallas Stars coverage. And if you haven't read Ron's stuff for the Mavs yet, Ron Harrod, he's new, he's young, and he's good. He already broke a story. He hasn't been here a month. We had the CEO in town a week or so ago, and they said, "Hey, congratulations to Ron. He broke a story." And CEO goes, "All right, I'll expect one every month now." It's like, wait a minute. So anyway, we have great writers, including, of course, Jeff, who I sometimes call Mike Jeff. It just happens, they're greatness, either one of them. So become a diehard. Get access to all that writing, all that content that's behind the paywall. And, of course, you'll also get a free T-shirt, the likes of which Mike is wearing today. What's on the back of that one, Mike?
I don't know.
Nothing.
Turn around. Yeah,
just the flag. Yeah, just the flag.
Knock everything over.
So we've got flags everywhere. This is the Rangers flag. That's sort of the OG flag. And we've got the Dallas collection, too, which are fun. Each and every one of those are cool. Of course, my favorite is the Nolan Ryan, Robin Ventura one, but I really do like the Dallas versus all y'all. That's a cool one. They're all great. So they're not expensive, but if you become a diehard, you could get one of them for free. And then you would also get 20% off any of the others that you decided to buy. The holidays are coming up soon. We don't only have T-shirts. I noticed that Jeff Kavanaugh was wearing a hoodie. Well, I think it was yesterday for the show. So anyway, store.allcitynetwork.com. Max Muncy, the aforementioned Muncy, his option year was picked up. And he's a Keller kid, Baylor kid. You know Max?
Very, I met him, but I'm sure if he saw me, he'd be like, who's this bald-headed guy who needs to lose 10 pounds?
He would not. He would not. He's a great, I've only interviewed him, but and I saw when they were making or interviewing him about the fact that he had been renewed, and somebody's holding their microphone, and I think they were having trouble with the little cable connecting to the microphone. Max kind of helps them put it in.
Okay.
I mean, just a really nice, good Texas guy. Texas sensibilities. And I think it's $10 million. So, yeah, of course, if they're going to pick up your option, this, Mike. There's not a lot of jobs where you can make $10 million when you get out of baseball.
Yeah, I don't think there are any, to be honest.
No. No.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, they don't even pay coaches close to that.
So
They
no.
do. I guess if you wanted to be a college football coach.
Right, yeah. You make a lot more than that. OnlyFans. TC's got OnlyFans going for us. So Paul DePodesta.
Okay.
Name mean anything to you?
I know that name.
He is the guy that Jonah Hill played in Moneyball.
There you go. Thank you.
He was with Billy Beane in Oakland for the last 10 years. Who knew? I didn't know where he'd gone. I'm like, you never hear about this guy. Last 10 years, he's been the chief strategy officer for the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
Today, he's finalizing a deal to become the president of baseball operations for the Colorado Rockies as they somehow try to go back to the future, I guess, with Moneyball, right?
Yeah. He didn't strategize too well with the Cleveland
Browns.
Browns.
The thing I was thinking, is there no performance evaluation?
Did he strategize that Deshaun Watson contract?
Yeah, that Watson contract.
That totally guaranteed contract.
Oh, my gosh, that's unbelievable.
And they have drafted some horrible quarterbacks for the last decade.
Oh, my gosh, the number of quarterbacks they've gone through. And so, I don't know. But anyway, he's going to be the president of baseball operations in Colorado. And maybe you can get away with Moneyball there because it's unbelievable, Mike. They averaged, 40,000 people a game this year.
It's one of the most beautiful ballparks to go to. Obviously, you usually have great weather there throughout the year. It can be very cold to start the year there, but after that, you have just perfect weather. You have the mountains in the background. It is a beautiful place. It is a tough place to play as a pitcher. They've done things to try to help, and that division is so tough. But I guess if you're taking a job with the Rockies, how awesome is it? You can't, sometimes you can say, well, I can't do worse.
Yeah.
You can't do worse.
No. Yeah.
You lose 110 games. We do that on a pretty consistent basis.
That's what we do.
Can you get us to only 90 losses?
Oh, he's
72 and 90, and they'll be throwing a party.
Yeah. They'll have $50,000 a game at the games out there. But it's a fun place to go, and they're there for the fun and the atmosphere and the evening out and all that, and they aren't that worried apparently about the product on the field. So good for them. Paul DePodesta headed there. This is cool. This is now Mike, as most of you know. Mike, and I'm not kidding, Mike was a good basketball player. Mike played basketball at Duncanville High School, where did they win the state the year you were there?
No, we were second. We lost to Lake Highlands. Worst loss of my life, honestly, in sports.
Wow.
I'll give Lake Highlands credit. They beat us. They weren't supposed to. We were ranked second in state. A team from San Antonio was ranked number 1, and they did win state.
They did. Okay. Yeah. All right. So you lost in the semis to this Lake Highlands?
We lost in the second round.
Oh, really?
That was it was a huge upset. And
wow.
It happens.
Anyway,
I cried for a while.
I bet.
Yeah.
Mike's a really good basketball player, so he can judge this. Tyler Glasnow, and I love this. The Dodgers are making their rounds. Last night, they were actually at the Kings game.
Okay.
Night before last, they were at the Lakers game. And, of course, these World Series champions walk in and, the seas part.
Yes.
So, anyway, believe it or not. Hang on. Here we go.
It's a good-looking shot.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Drained an NBA 3.
That's a good-looking shot.
Street shoes.
Yeah, and if you go to an NBA game, that shot will be taken about 30 times a game.
Yeah, it is the easiest 3.
It's everybody stands. They have every corners now with 2 guys in the corner, and you just the whole goal is honestly to shoot that shot offensively, it feels like. Even if nobody's in front of you, you're not even supposed to dunk it anymore. You're supposed to kick it to the corner for that shot. But that was a very good-looking shot. Now, he's 6'7", 6'8".
Yes, and that's
I'm
the
assuming
thing.
a nice basketball player.
He probably played a lot because
I saw TC gave me the 6'7".
Oh, 6'7", yeah. So he, but you could tell when he missed that first one, it was like, give it
one more. Don't worry.
He knew he had that coming. So that's pretty cool. And speaking of athletes and other sports, I love this. We'll let you listen to this. Bobby Witt Jr. and his wife Maggie were at the Stars game where they beat the Oilers the other night, and they front row seats. And yes, he's a major league pitcher with a hundreds of $1 million contract.
Yeah.
But, man, he really dug where they were sitting. Watch this.
This is way better than watching Dancing with the Stars. Miko Renton, they traded for that dude last year, and he's nasty. Oh, this is McDavid. Oh, look how fast he is. I'd get laid out by him. I just got a wind draft come up, chilled my toes. My parents see us on TV.
Oh, shoot, right here.
When did they do that? I didn't even notice that.
Hopefully not on good.
I was locked in. It's when they're doing the face-off right here. I feel like I'm in the game. Next year, the Stars are playing at the Cowboys Stadium. A lot of times, the hockey goalies will have like a routine.
I remember Ottinger's routine. Usually Ottinger goes side to side and front and back.
Hey, 2-goal leads, the worst lead in hockey.
On the turn, the Eagles right wide.
Oh, like I said! Oh, if he gets a hat trick, I'm throwing my hat on the ice.
The issue. Rantanen moved it off for Justin.
We got free hockey on our hands. Shoot it!
McDavid poked away by DeSmith. Robertson. Draisaitl moves in on DeSmith. Tucks around and scores.
Nice.
Leader in goals this season.
That's just fantastic. He's a hockey fan. He knows 2-goal lead is the worst lead in hockey. That's a hockey saying.
That's a hockey saying.
That's a Lud saying. And of course, at that point, the Oilers had a 2-goal. In fact, they had two 2-goal leads in that game. And the Stars came back and won it in the shootout. That's pretty cool.
You're a hockey guy.
Yeah.
I'm a casual hockey fan. When it comes to that sport, it's just not that good on television.
No, it's
and
not.
The best in person.
So
that's the tough thing about hockey is where Bobby Witt Jr. and his wife were sitting. You can sit in different spots and you're just like, wow, this is amazing. And then the next game you watch at home and I'm not trying it's just different. It's the only sport to me that feels so different watching on TV.
Yeah, and the real hockey people, they don't love those seats. Kind of like you don't love them at an NFL game because there's a lot of stuff in your way. You like to get about 15 rows up right at center ice on either side. That's one of the best spots to be to watch a hockey game. But I've had the blessing of being able to take my kids and my wife and stuff down to those seats multiple times, and it's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, you are, like he said, you feel like you're in the game. And to the point of T.O., I wish we had Bobby Witt Jr. too. I mean, just a great guy.
Yeah.
I remember him as a little boy, and then once his dad was gone, I lost track of him, obviously, but loved his dad. I mean, still do. His dad was one of my favorite Rangers players when I was here covering the team in the 90s.
Well, I have a buddy who got into scouting after pitching in the major leagues, and he's been scouting now for about a decade for the Phillies organization.
Okay.
And he will, to this day, still tell you when he saw Bobby Witt Jr. play in high school. I think it was summer, not at Colleyville Heritage, but he said he's still, to this day, the best high school player I've ever scouted.
Wow.
So he has never seen from 2016 to 2025, he has never seen a better high school baseball player than Bobby Witt Jr.
It's amazing. Yeah. Now, and he hadn't before.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously he would tell you. Obviously, he never saw Ken Griffey Jr. or he never saw maybe a Bryce Harper because he was still playing. That point.
Got it.
But he started scouting, I want to say, in 2015 or 2016. So been doing it for a decade, and he'll tell you, still to this day, I haven't seen a player at 17, 18 years old better than Bobby Witt Jr.
All right, we don't have much time. Can you give Ethan 3 guys the Rangers can sign?
JT Real Muto, I do think is a realistic
nice
possibility.
Nice. My dream is coming true.
Off the top of my head, I will go with Sean Armstrong. I think he makes a lot of sense as a valuable piece to your bullpen. And I wish I had a third that was a very affordable person. I'll tell you a guy who I don't have a name. How about this? A right-handed hitting outfielder that can share a little bit of the role with Evan Carter to give him some days off from facing lefties, and a guy that can also, he can scoot over and maybe play right field too and help out if you're going to go super young there with Alejandro Osuna. So if he's not ready to be an everyday player in the major leagues, can play right field.
All right, that's fantastic, man. So much fun having Mike in here. Mike, we really appreciate you hanging out with us.
That was fun, man.
Awesome. You can tell he loves it. I mean, it's the baseball or the radio talk show guy in him coming out when we get here too. But anyway, fantastic last couple of days. We appreciate all of your activity in the chat as always. Jeff's back next week, and I'll start calling him Mike. I promise. I will. I'm going to call Jeff Mike on purpose. Anyway. Thanks for hanging out with us. That's it for this week. We'll see you again next week on the DLLS Rangers podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.